So there's no, as you had mentioned, industry definition of it. And I think every city, depending on its immediate needs, defines it differently. But when we look at an intelligent city, we really look at a city that combines IT infrastructure, so traffic management, together with wastewater management, with street lighting, with heating and cooling, with power plants, so smart buildings, logistics. We look at the entire end-to-end chain of solutions and also of issues that a city could face. Now, if you talk about smart cities, then, many cities are taking a very differentiated approach to it, depending on if it's a new city built, so a suburb that sits next to a existing city, which we see most often occurring, or if it is a city program where it tries to revamp an existing architecture, which is much more difficult to accomplish. There are examples of established smart cities, and here again we need to be cautious, because in this sense, they have started to reduce, for instance, the traffic imprint that these cities have on inner city traffic management. So they have built out rerouting of traffic to decrease the pollution in the inner cities, and they also started with wastewater management. So you have pockets of areas where existing cities like Stockholm or Copenhagen have in Europe have started to do that. Also, the city of London had started to look at traffic management within the downtown area. So this is the first step where we really see the impact of a connected city or an intelligent city come in, is when we look at the projects that are occurring in, for instance, Smart City of Amsterdam, which is one of the largest projects that are starting to be built out today, where you really see wastewater management, you see intelligence building, and you see smart grid build out happening at the same time. Also here in Asia, in Korea, the Icheon is a good example, because also here you have an entire new build of a city development, where from a greenfield perspective, from scratch, you build up intelligence into the building, into the city infrastructure, so the road building, the electricity support that was supporting the city. So you from scratch can build out. You don't have to renew or upgrade an existing topology, which is much harder to develop. Also, the building structure, the materials, renewable energy were also built into the concept and the architectural design of the city. So these are some of the very early but very primary examples. It's very, very important for governments to actually take a part here, because it's a huge undertaking. And for instance, the European Commission is taking this task very, very serious. They had started a series of conferences around just to invite city leaders to actually discuss, how they are trying to accomplish a more intelligent layer, to actually bring the different pieces of the puzzle together, because there are city coordinators, there are utility companies, the security the security organizations, wastewater is handled by a different agency. You need to coordinate and pull this all together, and that's why for existing cities it is providing a great challenge, because you also have organizational issues that you have to overcome first, because you have to build out a reporting scheme and what you want to accomplish. So for governments, whether it's a city government or municipality or state government or a commission like the European Commission, very important to set certain, initiatives or incentives in order to assist these cities to actually move forward. Now, what we have seen with these new build-outs, like in Korea, but also in the United Arab Emirates or elsewhere, is actually when you build new areas out, so you have building constructors working together with vendors like Cisco or like IBM, they actually have a much more easier approach, because most time the building organization has already certain ties and partnerships in place that they know how to work with. So they have the people who know how to build out a intelligent grid environment, maybe also having partnerships with local construction people who know how to do that, and working together with the vendors. So here that ecosystem is better developed already. So governments can really put a lot of incentives into this play to actually move that forward. Having certain funding, like tax savings or additional abilities to of fund allocation. When I talk about the European Commission, for instance, the Smart City of Amsterdam gets substantial funds from the European Commission, but also from the state of the Netherlands. So, because it's an emerging approach, and the target, of course, is to build out some sort of blueprint or framework, so at least these city designs can be leveraged for the next city that also wants to do it. And again, here the best practice around how to put these organizations all on one table, the city, the utility, the building, and the different other, the traffic and whatever. So put them all on one table and actually develop a plan on how, and stages of the plan, and how to do that. I think the funding is a major roadblock in this whole project.